Hello, this is Tungal School of Basic and Applied Sciences, Degree College, and I am Ramanjan, Sir, Department of Mathematics. Let us discuss 5th Sem Mathematics. Paper 2, Numerical Analysis. Paper 2, Numerical Analysis. And the syllabus in Unit 1, solutions of algebraic and transcendental equations. Solutions of algebraic and transcendental equations. To find the solutions of these algebraic and transcendental equations, we have some methods are there. Bisection method. Next, iterative method. And Newton-Raphson method. In continuation of this unit, we have some more subtopic, numerical solutions of non-homogeneous system of equations. Again, to find the solutions of this non-homogeneous system of equations, we have the methods are there. Gauss Seidel method, Jacobi's iterative method. Jacobi's iterative method. So these two are the subtopics in Unit 1. Particularly in this 5th sem, we have the paper 2, numerical analysis. So what it is? The syllabus in Unit 1, solutions of algebraic and transcendental equations. See that? So find the solutions of the algebraic and transcendental equations by using these methods. Solutions means the roots of the algebraic equations and the transcendental equations. The roots may be in the form of solutions. Again, the roots or solutions satisfies the algebraic equations. That may be the x values which are to be exact or maybe sometimes approximate. In lower classes, we solved the algebraic equations whose roots may be exact. Here, we can solve such type of algebraic equations, but the solutions or roots may be approximate. Similarly for the transcendental equations. So what are the algebraic equations and what are the transcendental equations? So first of all, let us discuss the solutions of algebraic and transcendental equations. 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 As the two subtopics we have here, that one is the solutions for the algebraic and transcendental equations, whereas the solutions for the non-homogeneous system of equations. As we are discussing at first, the solutions of algebraic and transcendental equations. So before discuss the solutions, what are the algebraic equations and what are the transcendental equations? Let us know the algebraic equations. Algebraic equations. Algebraic equations. Right. An equation of the form f of x is equal to 0 be a polynomial in x, then one is called an algebraic equation. One is called an algebraic equation, that it is to be a polynomial in x. So the algebraic equation may be f of x is equal to a naught x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 plus a2 x power n minus 2 plus and so on plus an is equal to 0. Or simply f of x is equal to x cube plus 3x square plus 6x plus 6 is equal to 0. So the algebraic equation. And next, the transcendental equation. Transcendental equation. An equation of the form f of x is equal to 0 involving algebraic logarithmic trigonometric and exponential terms, then one is called the transcendental equation. Suppose the transcendental equation may be f of x is equal to some x cube plus 2 sin x plus log x plus e power 2x is equal to 0. So that the algebraic equation is always a polynomial in x, like this. Whereas the transcendental equations having the algebraic terms or maybe the trigonometric terms or logarithmic terms or exponential terms. So maybe sometimes only that trigonometric and exponential terms, or sometimes algebraic and maybe logarithmic terms. Such all equations are called transcendental equations. Next, third one. Solution of the equation. Solution of the equation. The equation may be algebraic or transcendental. A number alpha is called a root or solution of the equation f of x is equal to 0 if f of alpha is equal to 0. So when we are saying that alpha is called a solution of the equation f of x is equal to 0, when we substitute in place of x that alpha, that equation is to be satisfied, then that alpha only is called the root or the solution of the equation. So graphically, how can we find the solution? Graphically, the root of the equation, the root of the equation f of x is equal to 0 is the x value where the graph y is equal to f of x cuts the x-axis. These are all the things we know in lower classes also. To find the equation or to find the root or solution or x value of the equation f of x is equal to 0, where the graph y is equal to f of x cuts the x-axis. Next, fourth point. The roots of the equation, the roots of the equation can f of x is equal to 0 can be obtained by the following methods. That the first one is bisection method. Bisection method. Second one is iterative method. The third one is Newton-Raphson method. Newton-Raphson method. To find the roots of that equation, we can use these methods: bisection method, iterative method, and the Newton-Raphson method. Right. As we have the three methods are there, let us discuss one by one. First of all, bisection method. Bisection method. This method is also called the internal halving method or Bolzano method of successive iterations. Bolzano method of successive iterations. Successive iterations. Successive iterations. So generally they are asking as bisective method only. Sometimes may be asking like this also. Explain the internal halving method or maybe Bolzano method of successive iterations. So the question may be asking in examination. Explain briefly bisection method of finding the real root of the equation f of x is equal to 0. The question is to be like this. Right. So what it will be? This method is used to find the root of the equation f of x is equal to 0. Right. It is based on the intermediate value theorem that we discussed in the first sem also. Right. So how it is based? On the intermediate value theorem. If, what is the intermediate value theorem actually? If f of x is continuous in closed interval a comma b and f of a comma f of b are of opposite signs, then there is a real root between a and b. Between a and b. There is a real root between a and b. Right. See that the statement of. Let us see that. Let us take f of a comma f of b are opposite signs, and automatically the root of the equation lies between a and b. Then there is a real root between a and b. So take the f of a comma f of b are of opposite signs. Let f of a less than 0 and f of b greater than 0. Then f of a into f of b less than 0 and the root lies between and the root lies between A and B. Right. How it will be? Suppose this is the closed interval A comma B. In between this, that f of x function is this, so that its functional value f of a is less than 0, and here maybe f of b is greater than 0. Next, let the first approximation or approximative approximation root x1 is equal to a plus b by 2, because bisection of this interval it is x1. So like that we can proceed the iterations. At some iteration we may stop the process. Where it stops, generally that iteration satisfies the equation f of x is equal to 0. So that the iteration value is the approximate root of the equation f of x is equal to 0. If f of x1 is equal to 0, then x1 is a root of the equation, x1 is a root of the equation f of x is equal to 0. This is all okay, because whenever x1 is the root, suppose that maybe satisfies the equation f of x is equal to 0, there is no problem. If f of x1 is not equal to 0, then the root lies between a and x1 or x1 and b. So that if x1 is equal to 0, no problem. If x1 cannot be 0, suppose the root maybe lies either this side a and x1, otherwise x1 and b. According as when this side lies and when this side lies, the root, according as f of x is positive, that is f of x1 is positive, or negative. That means substitute this value f of x1, that is f of x1 is positive, because not equal to 0 means either positive or maybe negative. If it is positive, that the root lies between a and x1, the left side of that. If f of x1 is negative value, then the root lies between x1 and b. Let f of x1 is positive. Let f of x1 is positive. So f of x1 is positive means automatically the root lies between a and x1. Then the root lies between a and x1. A and x1. A and x1. Let Second approximation root. Second approximation root. x2 is equal to a plus x1 by 2. If f of x2 is equal to 0, then x2 is a root of the equation f of x is equal to 0. If f of x2 is not equal to 0, then the root lies between then the root lies between a and x2, the new root a and x2, or x2 and x1, x2 and x1, according as f of x2 is positive means between a and x2, or negative. If f of x2 is negative, then that root lies between x2 and x1. Let f of x2 is negative, suppose, then the root lies between x2 and x1. Right. Let the third approximation root, x3 is equal to x1 plus x2 by 2. Continue this process till to get root of the equation f of x is equal to 0. Write in bracket, that is f of that approximate root is equal to 0. F of that approximate root is equal to 0. Then the computation is stopped. Otherwise, we will continue till to get that approximate value satisfies the equation. That means will be is equal to 0, or may not be approximately is equal to 0. That f of that approximate value will be is equal to 0, or approximately 0. Right. This is the bijective method.